It is not E3 week, so be prepared for a bunch of announcements and reviews. Watch my showcase on Tuesday, where as a result, it's a smaller week of releases, but let's begin with Battle Grid, a good looking bullet heaven title where you're commanding a squad of mechs and has potential. Apparently, since we last took a look at Zombie Soup, this game has gathered quite a bit of momentum based on estimated wishlists, although I'm not exactly sure why, since it looks like a fairly standard twin-stick shooter with okay visuals and the overused zombie theme. If you know why, please leave it in the comments below, where don't get me wrong, I think that this still looks fun and perhaps is something a little different as compared to all the roguelites out there. Hey, if you made it this far, subscribe to my weekly newsletter to keep on top of all things indie games, link in the description below.
Do you always feel like a zombie before you take your first sip of coffee? We all do. Because it gives us energy, sometimes even too much.
Now, this game is not as it seems, which makes this trailer for Espresso Tycoon kind of genius, where, yes, it's another tycoon game where you can create your own coffee shop, but where this game has a variety of scenarios and settings, including an underwater level, so it seems to be rather innovative and worth a look.
Create amazing coffee recipes. Manage it. Take care of supplies. Train your employees. Read your customers' minds. And do much more to develop your coffee business. Travel around the world and complete a campaign full of different missions. Or just sit down and relax in the sandbox mode.
I did preview Mask of the Rose as well, where this is quite an interesting entry, coming to us from masters of the narrative game in Feel Better Games, creators of Sunless Sea and Skies. This is an eldritch horror version of Victorian London, where the entire city is now underground, where the laws of death don't apply, which can lead to some interesting situations. It's a detective game crossed with a dating sim, with choices to make and characters to get to know, but it's kind of difficult to describe what this game is, which may be its downfall, but I'll be keeping an eye on this. I don't usually cover VR games on this channel, but I have to say, Undead Citadel looks awesome and is one of the more hyped titles as a result. This is a first-person medieval combat title where you're hacking and slashing away at the undead as you delve into the depths of the Citadel, and looks like a must-get if you own a headset.
In our newest narrative adventure, the fate of humanity is yours to decide.
Just one bigger title this week in Harmony, The Fall of Reverie, one that comes to us from Don't Nod, who are the Life is Strange people, being another hard to describe game, but from what I gather, is a narrative choose your own adventure game where they literally have a representation of the decision tree in the narrative game mapped out in this, looking kind of interesting.
With the help of 6 ancient beings known as aspirations, she will decide the destiny of her community. You will need to make critical choices that might affect the balance between both worlds. Using the augural, a representation of Polly's decisions and outcomes throughout time.
It's not every day you wake up in a new dimension.
Who are you? I'm Polly.
Actually, you're Harmony for us over here.
Here, you will get to move from scene to scene, see into the future, and open new paths. While some nodes might be hidden, evolving in the narrative will enable you to partially reveal what the future brings. You won't be alone in your quest, as Polly makes allies both in her world and in Reverie. Aspirations thrive on the crystals that Polly collects from making decisions. Use them wisely to climb, step by step, towards the future you want. One aspiration will ultimately become the new heart of humanity. Which one will you favor? Polly holds the fate of both worlds in her hands. Will you plan for the future, or will you follow your instincts?
Smaller games begin with Eigengrau, a shoot-'em-up title that looks neat, having a bunch of bullet hell elements as well as enemies coming from all sides.
Something very bad is happening!
My dad says the government is lying about everything.
Well, he's right. But don't worry, though. I'll protect you.
Ryan, something is wrong with Joe Parson, the farmer, you know. He called me a few minutes ago. He was very afraid.
This movement that
Greyhill Incident is a first-person survival horror title that, refreshingly, is not centered around horrible monsters, but rather the little grey man alien design and looks creepy.
experiment victim.
They put something in me.
And I look,
Go to the touch.
and behold,
In which barn? There's tons of them.
a stormy wind came out of the north. And you think he can secure you from the angels of God?
Father! Those aren't angels. This is an alien invasion.
Great bastard.
Was that Brandon? What the fuck are they doing to him? I'm here! Rachel!
No! No, Henry!
And don't forget to be aware of the small green man in your backyard. You're Mr. Broker.
They are gray. Nothing went as planned. This island should have never been found.
Jeremy, watch out! Behind you!
Their Land is a first-person action-adventure game where you're exploring a mysterious island where things are going horribly wrong, where I believe it's from a solo developer and looks neat.
Jeremy, take care. No one has ever set foot on that island.
Why can't I have a gun?
Because you're too young.
My god, those could be the remains of an ancient civilization. Incredible.
Wow. What kind of place is this?
Many lost their lives. And for what? For nothing.
Look at these walls. We have to get off this island. Someone is screaming. I'm coming! Hey, don't be afraid. My name is Jeremy. What's your name?
Sikoya Taisha.
Let's kick off the top 5 with Blaster Beat, a competitive third-person shooter that most interestingly incorporates rhythm elements and could have potential, being free as well, so check it out. The next entry in the Amnesia series comes out this week in Amnesia: The Bunker, being set in a World War I bunker with all sorts of horrors lurking in the dark, where developer Frictional Games are really masters at their craft, making this one of interest. I've been looking forward to Nocturnal ever since it was revealed, where this action platformer with fire and flames as a main mechanic looks awesome, but I don't think that releasing in the middle of not E3 week is the greatest idea, since there's a chance that it will get buried under all the announcements. Still, the classic return to your homeland, only to find it utterly changed and corrupted, is a good setup for this game, with platforming and combat being the highlights. Similarly, another action platformer of interest is the gorgeous Tiny Thor, one that got my attention due to the pixel art and has been long in development. This is a throwback title that would not be out of place on an older console like the Genesis, where the Collectathon style level design looks like a throwback as well. The young God of Thunder wields his mighty hammer as he goes on adventures exploring the realms, with the ricochet and more puzzly aspects to the hammer being an interesting note. Of course, the beautifully grim, minimalist pixel art look of this game looks fantastic to me, where the enhanced release of this combat-focused action-adventure game is completely my jam. This is a Devolver Digital joint and will almost certainly get an available now type announcement during their showcase, where the original did review well on Apple Arcade, so in adding more features and modes, Bleak Sword DX looks to be even better, where you can find more grimdark games in this video.